Shalom, peace, and however you want to greet. This will be part one of the Mindset Chronicles. Shout out to brethren that I occasionally link up with from time to time. Time Levi, met a brethren on Facebook. We've been talking on the phone time to time ever since. Iron sharpening iron. We're gonna be discussing and elaborating on Galatians 5:16 and 17. He felt like we need to be discussing about, as far as the mindset is concerned, fruits of the spirit and walking in the spirit. And as far as Galatians 5:16, it says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." In verse 17, of course, elaborating, says, "For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law." Now, anything that I may miss on this film, I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible. Each film as quick as possible. Say a lot in a little time. Feel free to comment below or link up on my Facebook or Twitter if you got my phone, any one of my connects. But like it says, walk in the spirit and the flesh being contrary one to another. That means, as far as there's things that you're gonna do that are physical, and there's things that's gonna be as far as a thought process that can prevent the physical. Because see, if you are already in a mindset of the spirit and you recognize the outcome, or you look down the line to what could happen or would happen in the situation, then you would not go into the flesh, which would because the flesh, like, let's discuss flesh. Okay, the sensitivity of the skin, which is why we use certain lotions or certain fragrances. Certain people can't take oils on their skin. They have to use certain things because of how the skin reacts. We know what it does, what the skin does with the right kiss, the right touch, as far as affection, the reaction, and the chemistry of skin. So that's what it's elaborating on, saying the flesh and the spirit are contrary to each other. What you know may feel good might not be good for you. Just like you may hear a saying of people, or some old heads may tell you everything that tastes good ain't good for you. I.e. pork, we know that tastes good, but it ain't nowhere near good for you. Look at it as a habit. It's from beginning to end and what it stands for. But that's what that's elaborating on. The spirit wars against the flesh. The spirit gives you a caution, or a precaution. It holds you back. You'll think about it before you actually use. You'll question it. You'll try the subject or the spirit by the spirit. You'll be like, wait, before you even do the act, you already know the law, which would make you not under it because you already have knowledge. And if you keep the law, you won't have to be under it. But if you don't, you are under it, because once you do sin, you have to go by the law of the sin to get it back right, or the punishment thereof. But you are free from it if you're not committing the flesh act, which will be against walking in the spirit. But like I said, if I'm missing anything so far, so good. If not, leave a comment below. You can hit me up. I got no problem with coming out face to face or wherever it is. But the flesh is gonna get you to do something. When you shake, let's say you handshake somebody, a firm handshake or gentle gesture, like if a man touches a woman, how soft her skin is, he might end up being attracted to her skin texture, because after he shook her hand, he would immediately assume, well, if her hand is this soft, her body has to be the softer or the same manner. So it gives him ideas in his head. But if he is walking in the spirit when he shakes that hand, he's going to take it. He might carry it in his mind, but he might blot that out, which is what we want the Most High to do to our sins. He might blot that out. Okay, I'm just shaking her hand. This is the reason I'm shaking her hand, rather it's to meet her or business level or say whatever it be. But he will war against that and fight that off. Same thing as if somebody may bite their tongue. They wanted to say something, wanted to do an act that could have been horrible or gave them a bad outcome, but them holding their breath or speaking after a matter, let's just say in Proverbs, they have warred against the flesh, and they wouldn't do things that they normally would, or that ye would, like the scripture say in verse 17. So That's the difference in the fruits of the spirit and walking in the spirit. When you walk in the spirit, you have realization. You be attentive. You have the gift of discernment. You will like elaborate on everything before you do it, if time permits it. Of course, certain things are at an instant, and as far as an instant is concerned, if y'all need me to elaborate on that, let's see an example as far as instant in the spirit. Okay, somebody getting hurt by a dog or something. That would you have to use the gift of loving thy neighbor as thyself if you have the heart to do so. Not everybody does, but they getting ate up by a dog or something like that. You either grab a utensil or use your might. You go call for help, whatever the case, to get that dog up off of them. That's walking in the spirit, and of course you reap what you sow. If you don't help that person, that's not loving thy neighbors thyself, because you don't want no big brute dog biting on you and you in a helpless standpoint. So in an instant you go help that person immediately. It's on reaction, and that's still considered walking in the spirit. But not, you would flinch up or be scared or hesitate. Well, let me keep driving because maybe that dog is eating that person for a reason. That's not walking in the spirit. That's walking in the flesh because you scared to get bit by that dog. So if I need to give y'all more examples, I will. But without further ado, that's my first set. Part one on Chronicles. That's fruits of the spirit and walking by the spirit. Shout out Tom Levi. Anybody else bring ideas up? I got 2 and 3 kind of already filled up, but that's still open right now. It ain't been fully concluded. But y'all free to reach out to me, and I can be more specific on what part 2 3 any further videos will be, besides just making it up on my own, because this is for us. This ain't just for me. If God bless me to do it, I'm gonna give it like we all supposed to. Please share with me as well. Shalom and peace.